welcome to the Lady Jackets Basketball Show. I'm your host, Philip Jean, and I'm joined by our head basketball coach, Christina Battle. First year coaching the Lady Jackets, but tell us a little bit about your background. I know that you have 4 years of experience on the coaching level. Just tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, born and raised in the Houston area. Played basketball for Fort Bend Austin at the high school level. And then went off to play basketball in Kansas at the KCAC NAIA Division II level. Came back to Houston, started my career in education, and found my way into coaching and realized I love it. So I did 2 years at Manville Junior High, and now this is my first year jumping into the high school arena, and I've been loving it ever since.
How enjoyable is it being this first year coach and having the reins on this team, and what are you kind of expecting as that first year coach?
It's amazing. I'm at a point in my career right now where I have like a bunch of energy. I'm fresh. They always see me bouncing off the walls, so I'm kind of getting them to channel off of me and channel off of them and kind of understand what they're looking for in terms of this season. They are looking to change the culture of basketball in Alvin. We're in a very competitive district, which the Shadow Creeks, the Manvilles, the Iowa Colonies, and they want their name to be recognized on that same type of respect level. So some of my goals is to be able to get more district wins. That is one thing that we worked on. Last night we was able to pull out our first district win in 2 years. So they're super eager, we're all excited, and we have an amazing coaching staff to be able to pull that all together.
And last night you guys beat Pasadena Memorial by 8 points. So we've got the game footage for Dobie, which was unfortunately a 26-point loss. We'll get more into detail on that game. But just tell us a little bit about, looking at these previous games, the schedule leading up to all this, just kind of the approach that you had during these games and what you're seeing the team chemistry thus far.
Yes, so really in preseason, it is kind of your taste of what you actually got. The scrimmages a little bit before this was able to give us an idea where we are, but Iowa Colony was our first home game. We took a loss, and it was very hard. Transition was a big issue. Klein Oak and Iowa Colony, very, very high-ranked programs. We fell short to those. But Cy Ridge was a great win that we took on the road in a tournament play. Kingwood, unfortunately, took a loss. Spring, it was a very, very, very close game. But I think that we learned a lot in those experiences, and we were able to take those lessons and learn them before we got to district. We're kind of suffering a little things right now with injury. We got 2 starters out. But a lot of our younger ones, freshmen, first year on campus, are stepping up into those roles and filling those holes.
Okay, fantastic. We're going to take a look at that schedule a little bit more in depth a little bit later on. I know that you got some tournament action games coming up, but we'll also be taking a deeper look at that game on the road at Dobie, and we'll do that right after this break. Alrighty, welcome back. We're going to take a deep look into that 48-22 loss on the road to Dobie. Of course, you guys were out-rebounded 48-29. Lots of points given up on the inside. Let's take a look at some of the action in that game, and you can kind of lead us through some of these plays.
All right. We have Cheyenne taking down the ball. Addison set a screen. And we got a pick and roll action between Shay and Hayden, able to get the bucket with Hayden.
All right, let's take a look at that next play now. So it looks like they were playing a lot of zone on you guys.
Yes, the 1-2-2.
So good patience here, moving the ball around, right?
And that was the biggest challenge, is being able to make good passes. One of the biggest reasons that they kind of got the lead that they did is being able to convert on our turnovers.
And talk a little bit about this play. I mean, you see your center kind of flashing down low, and then she ends up finally getting the ball and scoring. How critical is it to have that, to break down that zone? It's
extremely important. I like to run a 4-out, 1-in motion and be able to get to move the ball and give my post the autonomy to be able to move around. set up picks and rolls, being able to flash to the top of the key. She has an opportunity to be able to post up and shoot. She's a talented young lady. So we like to get in that comfortability of being able to play basketball and not be stuck to a template of, oh, let's just run this play.
All right, well, let's run to the next play here. What are we looking at on this one? We're in the second half now?
Yeah, so we're set up in a stack play. Hayden was able to break, get the ball, and work into a post-move pull-up shot.
Is that the kind of range that you'd like to see from her?
Yes, and to be very honest with you, her confidence just in these past couple of months has grown tremendously. She's not afraid to take those shots or take it to the basket.
And speaking of taking it to the basket, in Blinkton, we saw this play. Talk a little bit about this one.
Yes, the Cheyenne Lang. She is a talented junior that we have. She's fearless. You'll see her flashing coast to coast around the court, making things happen rebound-wise and attacking the goal. And she can shoot the ball extremely well as well.
She was one of your leading scorers on the night, correct?
Yes.
All right, we skip ahead to the next play. Let's take a look at this next one here. It's obviously late in the game now.
Yes.
How tough is it when you guys are down by this amount and trying to still execute what you want to have done on the court?
It's extremely hard because you have to keep their head focused on being able to still compete. You'll see kids when we get down by certain points, their whole demeanor, their shoulders drop. You can see the emotions. So being able to uplift them in those timeouts in between quarters and just let them know that we're going to fight to the end no matter what the score.
And on this one, we see you guys come out with a three-pointer. You nailed 2 3-pointers on the night while allowing none to Dobie.
Yes, I think during the second half of this game, we were able to really swing the ball better. They are very handsy. They get a lot of deflections. They know how to move and anticipate the ball. And I think by the second half, we were able to adapt to that and be able to make some things happen more offensively.
Okay. All right, so you lost that game 48-22, but you obviously, let's just talk about the player of the game. We saw one of her shots earlier, Cheyenne Lang. Just talk a little bit about what she did in that game.
She was able to turn it on and keep it on and be that fire for us in the fourth quarter. Being out 2 seniors that get extreme amount of minutes, Cheyenne has been able to fill that role vocally and uplift the younger girls that we brought on the team. A lot is expected of Cheyenne. I've actually had to tell her in the beginning of the season that I'm not going to treat you like a regular junior. I'm going to treat you like a junior has the opportunity to play college, which I think that she does. So she's doing everything I need her to do offensively and defensively, and she's a fire and spark that we have on the team that's very much needed.
She's not a tall player, but she got a lot of rebounds in that game.
I'm telling you, this young lady can jump. She can jump. I think she would be able to help on the track and field side as well. But she's fearless. She'll jump up there and grab anything if it's within her reach.
What did you learn from that game? Because obviously you guys played last night. You scored the 8-point win over Pasadena Memorial. What things did you learn in that Dobie game that you were able to take over to the Pasadena Memorial game and execute on that night?
Stop teams in transition. The biggest issue with that game right there is we'll turn over the ball and we're not stopping the ball and some people aren't getting back. So being able to implement a system, if somebody shoots, they need to get back. Being able to take care of the ball. We can't hot potato it. We can't have that much air on it. We got to get real secure, strong passes. And one thing that I told my guards who are kind of young, when we catch the ball, we got to be in triple threat. We got to be able to see the floor, give yourself time to assess what the defense is doing so you can make a good decision. And I think they were able to do that very well last night, and that contributed to our win.
Okay. We're going to come right back after this, and we're going to take a closer look at just exactly what lays ahead for our team. All right, welcome back. Obviously, we're going to now take a closer look at the schedule that lays ahead, including some tournament action coming up right away. Just let's take a look at the schedule and some of the teams that you might be facing in that tournament. You got Huntsville first, and just talk a little bit about what you expect from them.
They're very disciplined teams. A couple of things that we've kind of been telling the girls is we need to make sure that we stick to our offensive and defensive plan because they're going to stick to theirs. This is a big tournament. It's the second annual. We're co-hosting with Manville, Alvin ISD basketball tournament that we want to expand every year. So there's a lot to being able to play tournament games at home, and we're hoping to feed off of that energy and have a lot of our fans come out and support us.
How tough is it to prepare for a tournament like this? Because I mean, you're playing a lot of games in a short period of time. So just talk about the need for depth and stuff like that.
Yes, it takes a very hard toll on our girls because they're playing long minutes and they're playing back to back. And then we got district to turn around the next week. So being able to utilize our resources, we have a pool here that our kids are able to use and hop in. Got some of the best trainers, get in the ice bath, being able to stretch. Stretching is huge. They get tight. And being able to utilize our bench as well and stay healthy and safe as we play. But stretching plays a big role.
Okay, can we bring up that schedule yet one more time? Because I want to take a look at, you were mentioning that we're going to be entering district play. What are some of the things that you're looking for when we're entering district play? You mentioned about how difficult of a district it is.
Mm-hmm. So this year is our first year playing against the Pasadena schools in district. But one thing that is personal for us is we're going in to play Shadow Creek and Pearland. Very, very, very hard games. And last year it was extremely hard playing them. And I think our girls kind of like put their head down and they were like overwhelmed playing these teams. This year we're going in with that dog, like feisty, the mentality, scrapey. Like we have something to prove. We want people to see that this is a different team, this is a different Alvin, and they're gonna have to understand and respect that. So.
Okay, so as you can see, you're going to be playing through February. Is playing that Shadow Creek game on November 26th during the break, is that a good time to face them, or would you rather see them at some other time? Or you can be honest and say, I don't want to see them at all.
I'll be very honest with you. It is a challenging opponent that we're approaching. Us being during break, it's early in the break, it's before Thanksgiving. So we're really just coming in Monday to prepare, and we don't have any distractions with them being in school and stuff like that. So I think it's an advantage for it being during break because our kids are able to like take a break from school and really lock in on basketball during that time. So we're hoping for the best, and we're hoping that they started eating their Thanksgiving meals early, and we can catch them.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome aboard, and hope this wasn't too painful here.
No, not at all.
Okay. And we'll do this more often. We're going to take a closer look at some of the games further on down the schedule, and we hope that you'll be able to join us for those. So remember, Jacket Pride.
Never die.